Hi interns, welcome to day 3 of the 7-day career launch challenge. Today we are diving into FinTech, one of the fastest growing industries in the world. James, let's start with the basics. What exactly is FinTech and why is such a big deal right now?
So FinTech, to keep it basic, is short for financial technology. So FinTech is the future, and we've all seen the banks shutting down on high streets, especially from where I'm from in the UK. I don't see any high street banks anymore. It's all going digital, and they're taking over. So FinTech companies such as like Revolut, Monzo, these very innovative, payments, finance solution companies, you know, they're innovative and they're more relevant. So people that are not only using these sorts of financial institutions now, they're not just, they're easier to use, they're straightforward, um,
More convenient?
they're more convenient for customers, and they're more trend relevant, so they appeal to the younger generation.
Yeah.
So even with all the placements that we have in FinTech, they want fresh people with fresh perspectives. They don't want people with 20 years banking experience because they don't understand the culture,
True.
right? So a traditional bank, you're suited and booted, you go in there, you have to be very corporate, there's lots of red tape, lots of policies and procedures, and it's very rigid. That might have worked 20 years ago, 10 years ago, but now people want to work with cool companies, right? They want to work with companies that you can collaborate with, you can share ideas with, and they get listened to, and considered. In a bank, there's no way you could ever do that.
True.
Right? So for both customer facing, people using FinTech companies, it's a lot more convenient, easy to set up, and it's, like you said, one of the fastest industries in the world, especially here in Dubai, where we have a lot of opportunity. Here, Dubai, also the UK is huge in the UK, we also operate there as well, but also the US as well. So it's the future, it's innovative, but for early career professionals, now is the best time to get in, because you can get in and have an opportunity to climb the ladder a lot faster than you would in a traditional bank where it's almost impossible.
Yes.
So I'm really excited by FinTech. I think for us especially, they're great companies to work with.
Yes.
Because we can create our early careers program. We can go to a COO or a CEO of a FinTech company and say, what do you think of this idea?
Yeah.
What do you think of our try before you buy a talent solution?
Yes.
Yeah, let's have a look at it. Let's see what you're doing. Let's have a look at your grads. Let's have a look at your professionals on your bench. And we go, here you go.
Yeah.
Here's how it works. Here's how we're different. And they're like, yeah, we like different. But if we was to go to a traditional bank, they'd be like, no, we've got our ways of doing things. And so, we don't really go after the major banks. That said, all of the major banks now, they're all creating subsidiaries. So Emirates NBD out here in Dubai, they have Live.
Yes.
So they have like these sister companies. So even all the traditional banks now are pivoting, changing their ways, changing their messaging, and trying to be a lot more trend
They have to adapt.
relative and adapt to the new generation. So it's exciting.
Yeah, it is. Can you give us some real life example of interns or graduates who started like our participants and now they are working in FinTech globally?
Yeah, well, there's hundreds.
And hundreds.
One that stands out for me is a guy called Derry, and I like to showcase him because he's done an amazing job with the client. But for example, he studied law. He done really well in his university degree, and he wanted to get into compliance. But he ended up in a job that was like kind semi irrelevant to what he studied, and it was frustrating for him. So he spent years, I think it was over 10 years, trying to get into compliance or legal or financial crime, for example, which was his goal, but he couldn't because he lacked experience. So he ended up working in security, close protection, because that was somewhat related, isn't really related at all, security. So he reached out to us, he called me, he said, looked at your program, seen your testimonials, love the work that you're doing. When I'm ready, can I give you a call and can you get me into an internship? And I said, yeah, no problem, just when you're ready, just give me a call, and we can get your career launched for you. And he literally called me 6 months later, because he kept trying. He said, right, nothing's working, I'm going to give your platform a try. And then within 24 hours, he was launching into a FinTech company, started his career in financial crime compliance. And then 3 weeks in to doing his internship, he got a full-time offer from the company.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it's great. So we've had loads of different scenarios like that. Yeah, so that's generally what happens, because yes, we're solving a problem for early stage professionals, but we're also solving a problem for the companies as well, because fair enough, they don't want to pay people without them having a track record and prior experience that they can actually validate, and they get that validation from recruiters, right?
Yes.
So it also works on the company's behalf, because they get to try out the interns, test cultural fit, test capabilities, test the drive that the individual has, which usually is the number one reason that it comes down to, is are they adaptable, are they learning, can they pick it up fast, and are they good to work with?
Yep.
And companies use that as the try before they buy talent model, so it de-risks their hiring, which is why we've had so many doors open with FinTech companies, because they're like, yeah, this is an amazing, innovative approach. We can test out candidates. They've had a bit of training from you guys, but now they can show us what they can do.
Yeah.
And then a lot of the time they transition while they're in the internship or shortly after.
Yeah, great. And if someone is new to FinTech, it might feel a bit overwhelming. And what advice would you give to interns starting today to make the most of this opportunity?
Yeah, it is overwhelming. Starting anything new is overwhelming, because you don't know what to expect. You don't know, you can't see the future, So doing anything new is always going to feel challenging. But if it feels challenging, then it probably means you're doing the right thing.
Yes.
So to get the most out of our program, or this 7-day challenge, you mean?
Yes.
This 7-day challenge.
7 days challenge, yeah.
So to get the most out of this 7-day challenge, we're constantly looking at potential candidates, right? So we want to see drive, we want to see ambition, we want to see clarity on vision and what they want to achieve, not just for this 7 days, not just for the internship, but for their career long term, because companies want to know that you're serious, not just about FinTech, but about the position that you're enrolling into, because a good company will want to see you progress, and if you have that clarity of vision and that drive and that hunger to succeed in your respected field, then we will pick up on that, the client will pick up on that eventually once you get an internship, and you'll progress your career faster than most people because of that reason. So what we're looking for is the hunger. We want people to take this challenge, do it quick, don't wait around, don't, really focus on it, really focus on the questions that we're asking and the tasks that we're getting you to do, because not only will it help, it's not just about us, about finding the right talent, it's about the individual doing the 7-day challenge for themselves.
Yes.
So if we see that the interns on the 7-day challenge are putting in 100% effort, then we will look at that and say, well, if they've done this with 100% effort and determination, and they really understand what we're asking and what advice we're giving them, then that is going to reflect into how they get on in the internship, which is what the 7-day challenge is all about.
Yeah, amazing. Yeah, that's great. And now finally, interns, the challenge for today is called reflection, and I would like you to write down what surprised you the most about FinTech today, and that's it for today. We will see you tomorrow.